Yo, what's good everyone? Today I'm going to be breaking down some of my favorite cash game plays for this Week 12 NFL Draftkings main slate. Like I always do, I'm going to go position by position talking about each of those plays, and then we'll wrap up this video with some honorable mentions. With that being said, let's dive right into this. And before we dive into the quarterbacks here everyone, just want to give you a quick schedule update as I will be out on vacation here starting this Sunday through next Sunday, and I will not be making YouTube content while out on vacation. I will, however, be active in my Discord channel, which is completely free to join. If you want to do that, there's a link to do so in the description below on this video, or just leave me a comment on this video asking for an invite, and I'll be happy to send it to you there. With that being said, let's dive into the quarterbacks that I like here for cash games this week. Now, I prefer to spend up for a quarterback here in my cash lineup. There's a few different guys that I'm looking at, but I am going to mention this as well because I know the names of Baker Mayfield and Gardner Minshew have been thrown out. They're playing against one another this week indoors in Indianapolis. 5K range, mid to low 5K range if you want to go that route. I personally don't prefer to go that route, but again, wanted to throw those names out there. If I'm looking to spend up here this week, I like this game in general between the Bills and Eagles. I lean towards Josh Allen, but I'm going to mention Jalen Hurts as an honorable mention at the end of this video too. Allen here priced at $8,100 this week in Philadelphia, where we would need 24.3 DraftKings points for him to hit 3x value. Now, if we look at his game log here on the year, he's had less than 22 DraftKings points in just 3 of 11 games. So getting to 24 DraftKings points here in this matchup shouldn't be an issue for him, especially considering how this Eagles defense plays. They're a pass funnel defense, very good against the run, one of the best in the NFL, ranking 5th overall in defensive rush DVOA, but ranked 19th overall in defensive pass DVOA, allowing the 7th most DraftKings points per game to the quarterback position this year. Now, if I'm looking to save a little money here at the quarterback position this week, I like Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals, priced at $6,900 in a matchup at home against the Los Angeles Rams, where we would need 20.7 DraftKings points for him to hit 3x value. And I know it's been a small sample size, just 2 games since he's returned from the IR, but he's looked pretty damn good in both of those games, averaging 31 pass attempts per game and averaging 6.5 rushing attempts per game. And that's really what I like to see, the rushing attempts, the designed runs, him using his legs in the red zone at the goal line. That's the Kyler we're accustomed to watching, and that's the one that offers a safe floor and a high ceiling. And this Rams defense here has been very mediocre this year, ranking 18th overall in defensive pass DVOA and 25th overall in defensive rush DVOA. Now, moving over here to the running backs, and I'm going to highlight 2 as my main plays, but I do have some honorable mentions here at the end that I'm going to talk about. First being Kyren Williams here of the Los Angeles Rams, priced at $6,600 this week on the road against the Arizona Cardinals, where we would need 19.8 DraftKings points for him to hit 3x value. Now, prior to getting injured, the volume was really good for Williams, averaging 20 touches per game and 93.5 total yards per game, and I love this matchup here on the road for him to get right again against this Cardinals defense who ranked 29th overall in defensive rush DVOA, and they've allowed 28 DraftKings points per game to the position. That's the 4th most in the NFL. And then another running back that I really like here this week, you saw him on the thumbnail when you clicked on this video, that's Rachaad White of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, priced at $6,100 in a matchup on the road against the Indianapolis Colts, where we would need 18.3 DraftKings points for him to hit 3x value. This is a guy who's averaging 18.5 touches per game this year, 81.5 total yards per game, and has now scored 16 plus DraftKings points in 5 straight games. Really like that, especially considering the price and considering the matchup here against this Colts defense, who've allowed close to 27 DraftKings points per game to running backs this year. That's the 5th most in the NFL and ranked 24th overall in defensive rush DVOA. Now, folks, before we dive into the wide receiver plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. We're trying to get GriffDogg Sports here to 4,000 subs by the end of 2023, so if you haven't subbed yet today and can do so, again, I would greatly appreciate that. And also, just want to mention this again, if you didn't see it early on in this video, I will be on vacation next week. If you have not joined my Discord channel yet, completely free to do that, link in the description below, or just leave me a comment on this video, and I'm happy to send you an invite there because I will not be making YouTube content while out on vacation, but plan to give updates in my Discord. Now, diving into these wide receiver plays here, and again, do have some honorable mentions that I'll talk about at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around for that. But if I'm looking to spend up here for a wide receiver this week, again, I'm looking at this game between the Eagles and Bills, and we could go with A.J. Brown, but I tend to lean towards Stephon Diggs here at $8,800 on the road here against the Eagles, where we would need 26.4 DraftKings points for him to hit 3x value. It's a guy who's got a 31% target share, 35% air yard share, and is heavily used in the red zone as well, with a 29% red zone share. And again, this Eagles defense has not been good against the pass this season, allowing 48 DraftKings points per game to the opposing wide receiver position. That's actually the most in the NFL. And this game here just has shootout potential in general. Two high-flying offenses. It has an implied game total of 48.5 points. That's the most here on the main slate this week. Now, there's some really nice value at the wide receiver position here this week in the 4 to 5K range, and one of the guys that was sticking out to me here in the upper 5K range was Christian Kirk of the Jacksonville Jaguars, priced at $5,700 here on the road against the Houston Texans, where we would need 17.1 DraftKings points for him to hit 3x value. Now, this is a guy who's had 14 plus DraftKings points here in 7 to 10 games this year, 70% rate. I'll absolutely take that. Yeah, I want to get to 3x value, but if you're getting close around 14 DraftKings points, by all means, I'm satisfied with that. Now, if we look at his numbers here, he's got a 23% target share, 30% air yard share, and a 26% first read share. And his Texans defense has not been great against the pass this year, ranking 22nd overall in defensive pass DVOA. And then another value wide receiver play that was sticking out to me here this week in the 4K range was Josh Downs of the Indianapolis Colts, priced at $4,800 at home here against the Buccaneers, where we would need 14.4 DraftKings points for him to hit 3x value. Now, he was a bit banged up in weeks 9 and 10, but prior to that, he was seeing a 19% target share, 22% air yard share, and a 19% first read share. Not bad at all considering he is a rookie, and this Buccaneers defense has not been good against the pass either this year, allowing 42.2 DraftKings points per game to wide receivers, the 6th most in the NFL, and the Colts are coming off of a bye here, so I do expect Downs to be healthy. Now, it's not often that I actually say that I like the tight end position, but the 4K range actually looks quite nice here this week, and even someone in the 5K range that I'll talk about at the end of this video. But hard not to talk about Trey McBride once again of the Arizona Cardinals, priced at $4,700 this week, again at home here against the Los Angeles Rams, where we would need 14.1 DraftKings points for him to hit 3x value. Now, since week 8, this guy's averaging close to 9 targets per game, close to 73 total yards per game. His Rams defense has not been great against tight ends this season, allowing 13.5 DraftKings points per game to the position. That's the 8th most in the NFL and the 9th most receiving yards. Now, if I want to save a little money off of that, Evan Ingram here, the Jacksonville Jaguars, looks nice at $4,200 on the road here against the Houston Texans, where we would need 12.6 DraftKings points for him to hit 3x value. Volume has been decent this year, 22% target share, 13% air yard share, but what I more so like here is the matchup against this Texans defense, who have allowed 16.6 DraftKings points to the tight end position this year. That's the 2nd most in the NFL, and have allowed the 4th most receiving yards to tight ends too. And then wrapping up the positional plays here with defenses, and it's not often I'm looking to spend up for defenses in my cash lineup, but for the most part, DraftKings priced these defenses up on the main slate this week. The cheapest one we can actually get is $2,600. So my favorite 2 plays here were actually in the low 3K range. First being the Denver Broncos here at $3,200. Good matchup at home against the Cleveland Browns, who are still rolling out backup quarterback in Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who has not been very good when he's played this year. 0 touchdowns on the season and 4 interceptions. But I also like the matchup here for the Kansas City Chiefs, priced at $3,100, going on the road against the Raiders, playing a rookie quarterback in Aiden O'Connell. This defense is truly legit, one of the best in the NFL, and honestly, we're surprised that they were priced here at $3,100, so I will take advantage of that. And as always, going to wrap up this video here with those honorable mentions, and I have 8 options for you here this week, guys who I'm definitely considering in my cash pool. Let's dive right into it. Mentioned this earlier, if you want to play Jalen Hurts on the other side of that game between the Eagles and Bills, I have no problem with that. 2 other running backs that I'm considering here this week are Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry. Taylor has a tough matchup, but he's clearly taken over as the #1 running back in that Colts offense. He should have a blow-up game sooner than later. Again, Buccaneers notoriously good against the run, but Taylor's involved in the passing game enough to where we consider him as a cash game play. Derrick Henry, this one is certainly questionable. I love the matchup here against the Panthers, who have been horrible against the run all year long. It's truly been a get-right spot for running backs this year. We saw it with Tony Pollard last week, but the issue is that Derrick Henry has been game script dependent. If they're playing with a lead, he should be a great play this week, but if the Titans are losing, that's when we have a problem with Derrick Henry. So definitely love him in tournaments, but I think he is cash game viable considering the matchup and considering the price. A few other wide receivers that I like here this week, first being Tank Dell, the Houston Texans. Been awesome in that offense as a rookie, getting a lot of volume, especially here over the last 3 weeks. Don't mind the price there at $6,900, and I certainly don't mind the matchup. If we're looking to spend down at the wide receiver position, I got 2 other value plays here in Demario Douglas of the Patriots and Rashid Shaheed of the New Orleans Saints. And then 2 other tight ends that I like here this week. If you can spend up, Dalton Kincaid has been awesome in that Bills offense as of late, and I do like the matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, a pass funnel defense who have not been good against tight ends this year. And then also David Njoku. I do prefer Ingram and Trey McBride, but if we really need the price savings at $4,100, I think Njoku is fine in cash games. All right, everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great weekend here, folks. Let's win some money on this Week 12 main slate. And in the meantime, I'm out of here.